Thanks for watching. Today we're having a look at the Arrma Fazon. You know that I really suck at unboxings, no different today. This is the box, Arrma Fazon 6S brushless four-wheel drive monster truck. I'm not sure why they call it a monster truck, because just like the Nero, it doesn't really suit the monster truck name as far as I'm concerned. It's more like a really super cool basher. Has the Diff Brain, does 60 miles an hour right out of the box with the additional pinion gear that you get with it. Now let's throw this to the side. Maybe you will see a few close-ups of it, maybe not. This thing, is it like really different than the Nero? It absolutely isn't. It's just another offering. In case you do not like, for example, the styling of the Nero, I got the Nero stock body over here. You can tell this is exactly the same truck. In case you don't like the styling, they offer the Nero Big Rock as well at Arrma, which is a bit more of a burly, I don't know, it looks bigger. It's the exact same size as well, but it just has a tiny bit of different feel to it, different anodization as well. In case of the Big Rock, well, stock Nero, you've seen it on my channel already. I've unboxed that, had great fun with it off-road. And then there's this one, the Arrma Fazon. This is their latest offering in the Nero family. I've actually had it for a couple of weeks already. Just wanted to wait a tiny bit with showing it, just so the novelty of me having the Arrma Nero has worn off a tiny bit, and you perhaps feel like watching this video. Now, the Fazon, to me, it's sort of, I don't know, has a totally different feel to it, despite it just being different in a few minor sections, but we'll get to that. Where the Arrma Nero really made me feel like going out to the quarry and bashing it, which is also what I've done. The Fazon strikes me more as an on-road speed type of car. It does 60 miles an hour, just like the original Nero. It just has a totally different look, and well, it gives me a totally different feeling. Now, what you find in the box, let's go to all of the boring shit first, as usual. Of course, manual, a bunch of warnings, some tools that fell out of the bag because I already ripped this thing open, obviously. The additional pinion gear that actually gets you up to 60 miles an hour. That additional skid plate that is a bit sleeker than the one that is currently in place with some of the hardware. Let me show that real quick. If I flip it over, you'll see that this one has some huge air intakes that also can get you hung up. This skid plate over here is a bit sleeker in design, so if you want to, you can change that out and, I don't know, sort of customize it. You get this tactic radio, brilliant radio, by the way. I've been using these as well with my axial vehicles. In the axial vehicles, you don't get them with this dial switch up the front that allows you to set those Diff Brain settings, but apart from that, it's the exact same radio. Range on it is really good. It comes with a foam wheel. All of your trim is in the front over here, so throttle trim, steering trim. Then your reverse switches are on the back along with your power switch. Runs off 4 AA batteries. I haven't had any issues at all with these type of radios. So it's nice to see that included. Now on to the main differences between this Arrma Fazon and the Arrma Nero. First thing that you see, of course, is this body. I think this body looks a whole lot nicer in the styling department than the Nero. The Nero was a bit, well, more simple in design. This one has, this Fazon has a lot of shapes going on. Has a clear window in the back where you can see those cantilever shocks functioning, which I think is pretty cool. And also the paint job that I did on it looks really, really nice. Very detailed. So there's a lot of different tones of gunmetal going on the hood and the roof. You will see that in a close-up because it really doesn't do it justice at this distance with the camera. The red on here is actually a bit of a metallic red, so it has a tiny bit of a shimmer to it. And these body clips, just like you've seen that on the Nero, are hold on with some tethers, I'm not sure how you say that. In the back there's a tiny spoiler. It's well, completely covered with their, I think this is their latest slogan, which is "Don't just bash, blast." Well, that is something that you're allowed to do, or that you're enabled to do with those different diff locking modes. Now the Diff Brain means that you can lock everything, so front, back, center, or you can lock center and the back, or you can lock just the center, or you can drive with all the diffs open, which is also what I prefer. In the back also you see a tiny diffuser. This is made of Lexan, but it has a carbon fiber look. Pretty cool. Another difference that you notice in the back over here, you see a wheelie bar. The Arrma Nero did not come with a wheelie bar. The wheels and tires, they're also different. They're a bit of a less aggressive profile, more suitable I think for on-road. They're directional, so I think for on-road this will be perfect. Like the style of the rims as well. Front bumper looks pretty freaking cool. And then when you take the body off, the first thing that you see is this whole front part of the cage is missing that you have with the Nero. And apart from that, the different body posts. Those are really the main differences. All of this other stuff looks very familiar, I think. So twin vertical plates, big battery trays, very futuristically shaped. The cantilever suspension with aluminum bodied shocks. I will be having a look at the shock oil in the back. I did that on my other Nero as well, where I changed it out just to make sure it doesn't donkey kick as much. 6S capable ESC. I'm not sure if it's waterproof, but I haven't had any issues yet with my Nero. Big brushless motor, and again with that additional pinion gear that you get with it, you can get it up to speeds of 60 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. You also get some different battery plugs. So if you want to run these connectors that are installed stock, which are XT90 connectors, you're instantly good to go. I will be changing these out for a different type of connector. But overall, quality strikes me as really good with all my Arrma vehicles that I have so far. I got a Nero, got an Outcast, and now I have this Fazon. It looks like they're really knocking it out of the park. Also the body, the quality seems to be stepped up a tiny bit. This is a bit thicker Lexan than I found with the Nero. And I'm really looking forward to taking this out for a spin. Now I will be receiving a clear body as well, because for me, changing out a few of these cars, because you may be wondering why you're seeing this amount of unboxings recently on the channel. It's not because I'm stepping away from painting, quite the contrary actually. I need to make sure that I have some new platforms that I can paint bodies for, just to keep things interesting for me as well, because I just don't want to be painting bodies for the same cars over and over and over again. So having a fresh chassis every now and then is a really welcome addition, and makes it more interesting for me as well to keep doing these type of videos. Anyway, if you want to be a tiny bit ahead of what I'm doing over here, Instagram and Facebook, you will find those links in the video description. Also a link to Arrma's website where you can read more about this Arrma Fazon. I will also put a link in the video description to my Arrma Nero unboxing, just in case you want to have a tiny bit more information about this chassis, because I know that I skipped a whole lot right now just because I don't want to turn this into Groundhog Day. So if you want to have more info about these telescopic drive shafts, for example, about all of the hardware used, and get a bit more of a closer look at what's going on underneath this body, go have a look at that video. Any questions, comments, hit me up in the box below and I will make sure to get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because it's free. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye. Back on.